What's up, Brohemians? Welcome back to How the Brother Side Lives.
Hooray!
We did it! Episode 2.
Episode 2, and theoretically, it's on time. We're at least recording it before Monday.
If it's not on time, I'm going to be very upset with you.
It should be. I got nothing tomorrow.
You got nothing tonight either.
That's not true. I have a date with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Again? Oh, no, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, but listen, anytime, we got a PS5 over the weekend.
Yeah, we did.
Anytime you're home, you want to play it. So
It's
anytime,
fine.
I know. I paid half for it.
Because the Switch is also half ours that I've now gifted you so lovingly.
I have not lovingly gifted you my half of the PS5 yet, so I would like to play it a little before summer ends.
We'll see.
Okay. But yeah, I would plan on doing that this evening while you are hanging with friends because it's your birthday almost.
I know, it's crazy.
Everybody sing the happy birthday song, but the one from regular show because it's way better than the original.
How's that one go?
Today's gonna be A-okay because we're celebrating your birthday. Happy birthday, Tucker. Celebrating your birthday. And that's it. It's fast, so it's not as awkward, and it's so much peppier than the first one. And it's fast and it's snappy, and even if you can't sing, you can clap along. It's great.
Okay, wait, but is it fast?
Yes, it's also snappy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah, we're back. Hopefully, we had the new video set up.
We have a set, the start of a set.
Start of a set.
If you're an audio listener, thanks for listening on the audio. But if you want to
check it out on YouTube,
yeah, take a peek on the YouTube if you want to that. And if you're listening on the YouTube, if you get in your car and start driving, turn it on the audio version because having a video up while you're driving could be dangerous.
Though that is something we've done many times.
That's something you've done many times. I've only done it once. I had to take the girls to dance, or sisters to dance, and I got really bored. I get so bored.
What'd you watch?
It was a Smosh video.
Okay. Also check us on Instagram and all that jazz too.
Yeah.
How the Brother Side Lives will have the podcast updates and also clips and like video updates as well.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going to be on one Instagram because it's easier to find there.
Yeah.
Instead of having like 3 different ones.
True.
So
I bring forth a question.
Okay.
That's not a Reddit question or anything, but
okay.
This is a me question.
Okay.
So I started working at a new job.
Yep.
And I was informed that there is already 2 other Sams working at that job, and a third one was going through the hiring process. So I am now.
You have a basic name.
I know, but I am now waiting for them to ask me because it's happened every time I get in a room with another Sam. I'm waiting for them to ask me, so do you have a nickname? And I'm thinking this time I actually want to give them one. I have 2 ideas, and I want your help thinking of maybe more, and also telling me if these ideas are stupid.
Say they call me Sama Slamma Jamma. Slamma for short.
I was thinking, well, I have 3. 1, and this is the one I may end up going with. I'm thinking of inheriting red. Because everybody called, our grandpa is the way I got my red hair, and everybody called him red at, like, his jobs.
Oh, everyone did.
People did, though, because it pissed him off. So I'm thinking red is just an idea. Our mom calls me Hammer. I'm thinking of maybe telling them Hammer or Ham.
No.
Okay.
That's bad.
Cool. This is why I need your help.
That's
all
bad.
Right.
That's a bad idea.
And I think this one is the stupidest one, but it's also the one that makes me laugh the most. I'm thinking of saying Phoenix.
Nope.
Because I have red hair and I used to be kind of ugly.
No. So you've rose from the ashes?
Yes.
No. That's a bad bit.
Exactly. Like, that one's stupid, but I think it's kind of funny.
I think you could also just go by...
I was expecting more. You think they're like, what's your nickname? I just go...
Like, it's partial tone, so I know what it means, but you don't.
Except that there are some real nerds working at the movie theater. I haven't met them yet, but I've been told about them. That's not true. I'm lying. Everyone I worked with was super cool.
For Jack. He's gonna want to talk to you about it's weird stuff, man.
The people I worked with were all horror movie fans.
Yeah.
Which I was telling them that, like, I've seen a few of them with you, but I'm not a big horror movie guy.
You've watched, like, 2 horror movies in your life.
I've seen Us.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot more thrillers than horror movies, I guess, because I've seen like Black Phone and Signs, which neither of those are particularly scary, but
Signs
they're
isn't scary at all.
Signs made me jump though. That one where he looks in the window and there's just like the shadow figure on his roof.
Yeah, that.
It made me
I
jump.
watched that movie with some friends, and there's at one point, it's like maybe the very beginning, but the dog scared him.
Oh, and that part when the kid's in the basement and you see the hands coming out of the grate.
Yeah,
That part's good.
I thought that was the best jump scare in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because
But
like even when he's watching the TV and the little alien guy pops up,
well,
you're like,
that
well, I
they
know
give it.
it's coming.
Yeah, they give it so much warning that one's not scary.
No, I just feel bad.
I didn't
for
realize that
Joaquin.
was. I was about to say I didn't realize that was Joaquin
And Mel
Phoenix.
Gibson.
I knew it was Mel Gibson. I knew Mel Gibson was the main guy.
And Macaulay Culkin. Or his brother.
I don't think it was Macaulay Culkin in that movie.
That's his brother then. It's one of them.
I feel like I would have registered if it was Macaulay Culkin. Is he the kid
Yeah.
with asthma?
Sure.
He has asthma
Years-
because when the alien tries to pump him full of gas,
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work because he wasn't breathing because he has asthma.
It's Rory Culkin, the third Macaulay Culkin.
So
brother.
that's the third one. It's not Wallace from Scott Pilgrim or Macaulay Culkin.
It's this guy who's in one of the Scream
Whoa.
movies.
He's got a thin-looking face.
They all have bad faces.
I feel like Macaulay's has a charm to it, but it's not particularly great.
Macaulay's has a charm to it?
Yeah. I feel like
don't think
Wallace
so.
has the perfect, like, douche face.
You have a douche
Hey.
face.
No, I don't.
What does it mean to me? That's what you sound like.
On an episode of one of the videos I did on my old YouTube channel, I asked the question of what celebrity has the most punchable face, and I want to hear your opinions because I will die on the hill of who I think has the most punchable face in Hollywood, in my opinion. I think the kid version of Greg Heffley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
I don't think so, and also that's a child, so I feel like we can't legally say that.
Well, I was allowed to legally say it last year because I was still 17 when that video.
But he looks the same now, so you could just say.
No. Now he looks hot. Have you seen him now?
He's not. He looks like the same. I look at him and I go, "That's Diary of a Wimpy Kid," though.
I can't see it anymore. But that kid, mainly, it's probably because I just hate Greg Heffley as a character in those movies. Because boy, howdy, is he the worst.
He's not the worst.
He kind of is, though.
He's not.
Have you watched those movies recently?
It's been a while.
He tells Rowley that the only way he can ever be loved is if he becomes a different person. And then when Rowley's like, "I don't think I want to be your friend anymore," Greg's like, "What did I do? Everything hates me."
It's because you are also weird, and you're like, "No, Rowley, you're fine."
So you're telling me it's wrong of me to say like, no, be yourself and be happy with yourself, and you'll attract the people that you deserve to hang out with.
Well, yeah, but if you want like cool people to hang out with, you have to be better.
I don't think I want to do this podcast anymore.
Okay, do you want to do our first Reddit thing?
I would love to do our first Reddit thing. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go
Yeah,
first?
this is shoot. I already forgot what we're calling it. It's not an AIDB, which now stands for "Am I Delightfully Bonkers?"
I like this one a lot
Which
more
is
than
what
our
we will
last
be
one.
calling it.
Because last week we called it "Am I Together Again?"
And that's because I wanted to try and keep the acronym thing, but I've decided against that now. And it will now be called "Am I Delightfully Bonkers?"
"Am I Delightfully Bonkers" is a lot more fun too.
Yeah. Okay, but this is not one of those. This is from Petty Revenge, I think.
I love the petty revenge ones.
Okay, this one says, I had a bully in middle school who used to torment the life out of me by beating me up, pouring water on me, locking me in bathrooms, making fun of my weight, etc. I recently saw on Facebook that he's engaged, so I stupidly thought of a petty revenge plan. I used an old Instagram account and posed as a pretty woman and DM'd him. 20 minutes later, he messaged me back. We chatted where I pretended to be a woman and he began to flirt. I screenshotted all his messages in case he might unsend them. I forwarded those screenshots to his fiancée, and bada boom, the engagement photos from their Facebook were deleted the next day. Was this too much? My favorite thing is that the header for this, which I didn't copy and paste, is like, I got revenge on my middle school bully, lol.
That's crazy. I mean, good job for I'm glad that the woman found out because
No. I'm not.
I mean, okay.
I'm not.
Would you have rather married a cheater and then learned after a few years of marriage that he's a cheater, or right before you got
But
married.
also, they're not married yet, so maybe he's like, "This is my last freedom, day."
That's stupid. Here's what I think. I think that that's stupid. I think like there's the like thing in movies where you see where it's like it's my bachelor party, I'm gonna get a stripper, like whatever that is. That's
They
stupid.
all sound
They all sound like idiots to me. That's
like
stupid.
that. I mean, yeah,
You're like, I promise
but
to love my
also,
wife, my soon-to-be wife, forever, and the way I'm gonna show that is by looking at a different naked woman.
this is taking a turn that I didn't think our podcast would take. Now I feel bad.
I do think that's
get.
crazy.
I don't think he should have done what he did. I also don't think like how. What are the chances that an opportunity like this would have arose
I
again?
It's crazy that he was like back in middle school,
Yeah,
like 20 years
middle
ago.
school. Like they're children.
Uh-huh.
Like unless there's some sort of thing where he like because it's on Facebook,
Yeah.
so he's like still a jerk. But even then, you're not gonna post the jerk stuff on Facebook. So who's to say, really?
What I'm thinking is, first of all, if he's your bully, why the heck are you following him on Facebook? Why do you give a crap?
Because it's fun to keep up with people that you don't like from middle school and high school.
Is it?
Yep. 'Cause
Do
then
you do this?
Yeah, because then you just look at me and go, "Oh, that's sad." Like that.
Think
Like
of name one person that
I
you,
will not.
but not by name. Name like first and second initial, but like think of different names.
I'm not gonna do this.
Dang it. Okay, tell me and I'll cut it out.
No,
Dang it.
talk about it
Tell
later.
me after the podcast.
Yep.
Oh, really,
After
you
I've
do
watched
that?
Stop. Yeah. I mean, there's people I didn't like in high school that I wasn't like friends with,
Mhm.
but just like we had a couple conversations. I like keeping up with people, except that if those people that I don't really care for, if they unfollow me, then I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay. I like keeping up with people, but I like keeping up with people that I liked in high school. Or
I
like
do that
people
too.
people
Not as much.
I love doing it with people that I wish I was friends with. Like in high school, like I wish I tried harder to become friends with them. Our high school was pretty cliquey. It got to the point where it was like these are
Well,
your
it's hard.
friends and
It
you're
was
who
hard because our high school was so small.
it was so small so everybody like formed groups in middle school and like it was really hard to like break into a group or break out of a group.
That's why you make your own.
Mhm.
That's what I did.
But that it was just like I wish it like our friend Jarrett. I wish I was friends with Jarrett, like closer friends with Jarrett, because I got
Yeah.
to talk to him a little bit senior year, and I was like, he's so cool. Like him and Carson, I was like, I wish I could hang out with them. So I follow them both on like Instagram and Be Real, and I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
friends, that sort of a thing.
Yeah. In the end, was this too much?
Yes,
Yes. This was
this was
far too
I was
much.
bullied in middle school. Like I'm not gonna,
Aw.
yeah, I was.
Man, I wasn't. That's unfortunate for you.
It was. I was bullied in middle school, but like
Is it because of your red hair? Is it because of your weak, frail body?
yeah,
Is it because Twig? Because Twig.
because Twig, not because Twig.
Is it because you don't really have any freckles anymore?
It wasn't freckles. It
They're
was
gone.
it was
I never
often.
noticed that. I never really thought about it.
It's because I don't go outside as much anymore.
That's because we're sad.
Well, it's because I've started like running inside on a treadmill. Because like outside
Yeah.
time came for me mostly in
Outside
running.
time.
Outside time came mostly in running and like playing with our little sibling who is no longer in of the age where she wants to go outside and
The
play.
people that don't know us just thought you were gonna say that our sister was dead.
No. Our sister is going into middle school, so she's more like staying inside and doing things like she does like perler beads and stuff that look really cool.
Is because people just thought you were like just weird, like for most of it.
Well, no, you were there for most, or yeah, you were there for most of it.
Most of what?
My bullying, like it came from.
Oh,
It
I
was
helped.
yeah, sometimes it was like little just jabs that came. It really
That's not bullying then. That's friends ripping on each
Mm.
other. That's busted balls.
Except for the fact that I would like look at the friend and I'd be like, "Hey man, you're really hurting my feelings," and he'd be like, "Dang, that kind of sucks." Anyway, and
You
then
have
just,
red
like,
hair.
exactly. So yeah, it was fine. Like I'm fine.
Let's talk about anything else. Let's go to the
Okay,
next
do you want to
one.
hear one of my stories?
Yeah.
I also have a story about that in relates to a bullying. This is from our confessions, one of my favorites as well. My actions caused someone to lose an eye.
Good.
Good. Okay.
They probably deserved it.
My best friend and I were getting messed with by two bullies. They lived in the same neighborhood as my friend. One night we were walking around and talking on the grounds of the neighborhood country club.
Mm.
Rich people.
They're so rude.
They spotted us and threatened us, so we ran. We ended up running through a tennis court. Rich people. We were a bit ahead, and so I found a switch and turned off the tennis court lights. I figured
Nice.
it would slow them down so we could escape. I'm not sure what he ran into, but whatever he did, it poked out his eye. We heard a scream and him yelling about his eye. We were scared and ran. He was with another kid, so we figured he would help, and we would leave to escape. We would leave to escape being in trouble. We heard the ambulance from my friend's house. Even though the kid was the worst, I feel bad about it sometimes. I never saw him ever again,
He
and
didn't see
never
him either.
got to. I never saw him again, and never got in trouble or even questioned.
Good. Well, okay, here's the thing.
I've done stuff like that.
You poked someone's eye out?
No, just something where I'm like, this will just slow him down, and then it like resulted in like more injury.
I, at school one time, was standing on top of the stairs. I remember this, and I think about it once a month.
Okay.
It was in middle school.
Mhm.
Standing on the stairs, and I went to throw a ball at a friend of ours to, like, trip him up, but I missed, and I beamed him in the face instead. It was a soccer ball.
It was a soccer ball. Were you like kicking it, or were you like over?
No, I was standing up on the stairs,
Okay.
and he was running.
Was
like,
this in the
front of
middle school
stairs.
building, or was this in our house?
It was in our house.
Okay.
And I threw the. Just stretch real quick.
Okay.
I threw the ball, and right in the face.
Which friend was this?
My friend Mick.
Oh, Mick. Mick took it like a champ, though. Probably.
No, he was really upset.
Oh, was
for
he?
like 5 minutes. It was pretty chill.
Yeah.
But
Mick's
felt very bad
wonderful.
about it. It was a bad play on my
I
part.
hope Mick listens to it. I was thinking about Mick the other day when I was
Stop.
Wow, everything on my don't turn off that, unmute that. It makes me nervous.
What do you mean it makes you nervous? It mutes sound.
I know, but there was one time that like I'll mute the Discord notification. There was one time when I was recording a video with Chad, we changed the sound like output on the computer and it changed what was being recorded. So there's a chance that there was just a cut there. If not,
Good. Okay.
good. So
I don't think it was technically wrong.
I mean, they were being attacked. He said they were threatened.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, you turned the lights off, but that you didn't know. It wasn't like
yeah.
you're like I'm gonna set up a trap. Oh no, it
He
poked
didn't.
his eye out.
He didn't Macaulay Culkin it. He did
No.
not
We
think.
gotta stop talking about Macaulay Culkin.
I don't think
Far
we
too much. So
have
far.
to.
I would say it probably. I would say you're good. You're good, man. I mean, now it's just a fun story you can tell, and people will look at you funny.
True.
And you just go, I poked a guy's eye out one time, but give them no details and then walk away.
True. That is an option. Or you can do what this guy did in middle school, and you can actively find that one friend and then steal his glass eye and go ha ha and then run
I
away.
didn't do that in middle school.
No, what the Reddit guy did.
Oh yeah,
Where
yeah,
you get revenge
Go
on
back in
something
time.
that happened 20
Well,
years
why
ago.
are you getting? You're not getting. You're just like I'm here to finish the job.
No, you flip the script and you're like, I'm the bully now. Give me that eye. And then you
And
eat
then
it.
you eat it
Right in front of him.
No, you wait for Halloween. You put it in a bowl of grapes that
Ah.
are painted to look like eyes, and someone eats it, but you don't tell them.
Do grapes often get painted to look like eyes?
Well, in movies, I think.
Well,
They do like eye bowls.
do they?
They do.
Who-
Halloween.
Now, hold on.
Halloween.
Who is
people.
they?
Halloween people?
Like people from the movie Halloween, or
No, people from this town. People from
Halloween Town?
People from Halloween City.
Oh, have you
That
ever
one
seen
time.
Halloween Town?
No, I haven't.
Sophie really wanted to watch it with me, and I said, eh.
I
'Cause
don't.
we-
I don't want to watch it.
We had just watched like Frankenweenie, which was a good movie, by the way. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, no, I remember it vividly. I didn't watch it. I remember the trailers though.
I remember watching the
And
trailers.
laughing at the word weenie.
I remember the trailers, and then I remember Subway's version of a Happy Meal had Frankenweenie like
Oh, yeah.
bags, and I really wanted one just because I loved anything dog related. And I was like, it's a freaking monster dog.
You're
That's
like, hey,
sick.
that dog's dead.
I don't know. It's not actually. It got resurrected. It's
Yeah, but then
Frankenweenie.
it died again. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
I haven't watched the movie, but I can only guess that in the end he's like, I was wrong.
I
You're
watched it,
supposed
like-
to be dead so I can grow as a person, and then he killed
No.
him off. And then he killed him.
I watched it like 2 years ago. I don't remember exactly.
This feels like a pretty big part that you'd remember whether or not that dog
Well,
dies or not.
it happens. It's overshadowed by the memory of what like the climax of the movie is a bunch of other kids learn that the like
Yes.
Frankenstein kid has this thing that can resurrect pets.
Yes.
So they all dig up their old pets and try to do it themselves.
Pet cemetery.
Well, they end up like mutating and becoming evil.
Good.
And so
As they
they have to
should.
fight these evil
Things that are
pets.
dead should stay that way. Except for when the resurrection comes. Okay, let's go on to the next thing.
Cool.
This is Am I what is it? What's the D word?
Am I delightfully bonkers?
Am I delightfully bonkers? Am I delightfully bonkers for banning my sister-in-law from my house over tomato sauce?
It sounds like it when you phrase it that way.
Here we go. I have an older brother.
Good
He
for
is
you.
married
Me too.
to my sister-in-law. That
Is
how
how
that
it
works.
works.
I get along with her well, except for this one point. If you don't keep an eye on her, she will get into the kitchen and add seasonings to whatever is cooking if she thinks she is fixing stuff. But not all foods need turmeric in it. This Saturday, I received 40 libs of tomatoes. It took me the whole weekend to turn it into a sauce that I was planning to can. I can it plain, then add whatever seasonings and herbs it needs depending on the receipt. They came to take a bag of spare clothes for one of their kids, and in 5 minutes it took me to get it. She managed to get into the kitchen, add salt, pepper, turmeric, olive oil, garlic powder, and Italian herbs to all 5 of the pots that were simmering on the stove. And when I told her what she was doing, she had when I no, sorry, when I told asked her what she was doing, she had the audacity to say this sauce needed some taste. I added it for you. Like I've never told her to not touch what I was cooking before. I was so angry that I knew I couldn't be calm talking with her, so I simply walked to my brother, told him to take the clothes and his wife, and that she is no longer welcome in my house. She had followed me, was shocked, started apologizing, but I just ignored her. I added that he should come by tomorrow to take the sauce his wife ruined, because otherwise it would be thrown away, and that I expected 40 libs of replacement tomatoes. They left. He came back with the tomatoes, an apology letter from her, and apology carrot cake, my fave. But I told him that I stand by my decision. Now my parents got involved since I am the one that usually hosts, and since she is not allowed in my house, I told them to make alternate plans for Memorial Day. My husband says that I'm in the right, but my parents say that my reaction is way overblown. So am I delightfully blonkers? Am I delightfully blonkers? Edit. Since there seems to be some confusion, I'm not planning to host Memorial Day and bot invite her. I said I am not hosting. My parents or my brother should host, and I will attend as a guest. I may be angry, but I don't want her excluded.
At least she doesn't want her excluded.
At least she's bot angry.
At least she's bot angry.
That's good. Wait, no, she is. So she doesn't bot. She doesn't want to bot invite her,
Oh.
but she is angry.
Okay. I can understand the frustration, but banning her over trying to help.
No.
It always gets tricky when the thing that's wrong is the person's trying to help in a way that you don't need it. I was on a set at college one time, and there was this one guy who made our time run for about 45 minutes longer than it needed to be
Yeah.
because he kept trying to help. He was on sound, so
those are my least favorite people in the world.
I just his heads in their heads are always in the right
Yes,
place,
but
but
if,
it's not
especially
helpful.
if people say, "Do you need help?" and I say, "No, I'm good," and like I'm gonna help you anyway, and they just make it harder. And you're like, "No, see, I said no."
It's just so he was a boom operator, which means he just had to hold one of those big mics. That was his job. I've done it before. It's easy. You stand, you sort of chit chat with the other sound guy until they say action, then you hold up the thing and you don't talk. And so the director and the assistant director would be like, "Okay, how are we gonna do this scene?" And they'd like both sit and just start thinking. And immediately this guy would be like, "We could start the camera down there, do a walk up." Like just he would try to direct the whole thing, and they would always be like, "Dude, we're good. Thanks for,
You
but
know
we're
what I
good."
just thought of right now? That's very off topic.
Oh, what?
We didn't introduce ourselves. We're 25 minutes in almost, and we never said our names. We did have that question about your stupid name, but I never got to say mine.
That's true. This is Tucker. He's the guy that's not me.
We should be better at this.
It's week 2. We have time to figure it out. It's week 2. We just got a set.
We just got this.
We
slapper.
just got a slate.
Slate.
Yeah. Please don't do that.
We just got our dolphin.
We just got our dolphin.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was a wonderful thing for the audio listeners. Oh, let's never do that again. Oh, and he has the dolphin. Oh,
That's what dolphins are.
of course. But yeah, this guy again like was really just trying to help, but he's also like one of those real film snobs. Like real
Is
film
this the kid I met?
snobs. No, it's a different kid. This kid always has his dogs out.
Nice.
This kid, I don't, I
Nice.
only ever, don't. I only ever see his, he lived on the same floor as me and he never wore shoes when on the floor.
Well, your
Or
floor,
socks.
your floor is soft.
I mean like the floor, I mean being like the
Yeah, I
college.
know.
So he would go,
Very little hardwood.
I assume he would like walk into the bathroom barefooted.
Oh no, that's bad.
I mean, he would never wear shoes or socks while on the floor at college. It, I
Yep.
but yeah, he's the kind of guy who like watched the Mario movie trailer and was like, I just simply can't see how this could be good.
And you're like, did
And
you
we were
watch
like,
it with your? Did you take your glass eye out and watch it again?
I was like, did you not just see the part where he jumped through the clouds and landed on Rainbow Road? This movie is gonna be awesome. And he was like, they've revealed everything. I'm like, it's been 2 minutes of footage.
You're like, tell
What
me
do
the
you
story.
mean?
What's gonna go? What's gonna happen? Everything, bit by bit, detail by detail. What's going down?
Exactly. So,
He's the reason it has such a bad Rotten Tomatoes score.
yeah. But so, it's just hard because like some people did this with our father too, because our father's a theater director, and so they would come and like try to help, and it's always them want it just sucks because everybody has the same end goal. They want to make something good, but some people don't know their place and they don't know how to sit on the side and realize the best way you can make this good is if you shut up and let me work.
Let's talk about this specific scenario though, because we got off.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'll gear shift back. This woman just wants to make good food.
But she's been told multiple times
Exactly.
to not touch
That's
the
where
thing.
it gets rough because it's like I'm the one cooking. I would like to cook. Let me cook.
Yet, just let him cook.
Just let him cook.
But like also, on a different note, yes, if she's been told a million times to not do the thing,
To not to.
if she's been told a million times to not to, then she shouldn't. Like she's a crazy person. I think she's probably a crazy person.
Why?
I so wish that I saw the apology letter though,
I also would have enjoyed the apology letter.
because there's no way it doesn't sound passive aggressive. Like I'm so sorry that I tried to make your sauce taste better. I'm so sorry that
yeah.
your boring sauce needed some seasoning, so I put it in. That's probably what it sounds like.
That
Get off
is.
your phone.
I'm trying to mute the notification
It
noises.
doesn't matter now. It's too late.
I'm not sure if they're coming through on the recording, but they're definitely coming through our earbuds. I'm just trying to shut it all off. You can't say that because we have the same mom. I do.
Okay, let's.
Did I ever tell you that I thought for a little while I was adopted?
We all did. It's something we all go through.
But
Every
I like,
person in America.
but I had like proof. Like I really thought I might have been adopted.
It's because our mom doesn't take pictures.
No, it was because right before Elsie, our youngest sister, was born, I had like got to the age where I started realizing like adoption was a thing. Like I started realizing that because I was like 8.
Yeah.
And I looked at you because we don't look, for the people who've only audio listened, we look nothing alike. We look nothing alike. And so I saw you, and then our first younger sister, Paisley, she looks like you.
Yeah.
But she looks nothing like me.
Nah.
And both of our parents don't really look anything like me. So I thought for a little bit, I was like, what if I'm adopted?
Yeah, you probably are.
Well, because what ended up happening was like, I asked mom about it recently, and she was like, nope, you were the worst pregnancy I had, and it's really annoying. And I was like, that's understandable. She didn't call me annoying. I thought it would be funny,
No,
but
she
she
thought
didn't
it,
laugh. Oh, probably. But because I looked at you and I looked at our parents and I looked at Paisley and I was like, all of them kind of look the same. And then there's me. But then I saw like our mother was pregnant. She had like, and then like I didn't watch, but like Elsie came and I was like, that one looks like me.
They switched babies.
What?
Shoot. That's probably what happened both times. Wrong baby.
No.
I don't know. It's possible.
Well, I've started to realize that I look like other men in our family. I got the genes. Because pun and squares, it
You're
just
wearing
ended up.
shorts. Don't lie to me about jeans. Let's go to the next question.
You're really funny. Do you want to hear my other question?
Sure.
Okay. I don't fully remember what it is. Hold on, let me get to it. I think it was. Oh, it's a couple's advice.
Perfect. I'm expert in this topic.
Well, we've both been in relationships.
Some of us more than others.
Some of us longer than others.
Shut up.
All right. I, 36-year-old male, suspect my brother-in-law, 48-year-old male,
Old.
of poisoning his 18-year-old son.
There's more.
That's just the headline.
Perfect.
About 13 years ago, I had a conversation with my brother-in-law in which he unexpectedly brought up the fact that he poisons his child whenever the child gets on his nerves.
Wait, he said that he did it?
He's brought up that he poisons his child whenever the child gets on his nerves.
Okay.
And that
Good
he
start.
would never give him too much to kill the child because he isn't a monster. He stated the poison was tasteless and odorless, and small doses were undetectable in blood tests. He then backtracked and said he was joking. I would never do that.
But then there's died.
I discussed this with my partner at the time, who said he had mentioned trying to design rodent traps. My sister's child has had stomach issues all his life. I mentioned this
I
to my
wonder freaking why.
Yeah, I mentioned this to my sister and suggested a urine test should confirm if the poison was present or not. My sister then had an argument with her husband in which he denied poisoning the child. The child just turned 18 and still has stomach issues and displays symptoms that could be related to mild poisoning. The stomach issues have caused him to pull out of school and remained undiagnosed, although multiple tests have been ran. I don't want to ruin my relationship with my sister, who has been a huge support in my life. My brother-in-law is a manipulator and schemer, has led me to be wealthy, which has led him to be wealthy, and my sister admits at times she wonders if difficult situations he places her in are deliberate, and he doesn't have a great relationship with her or the kids. How do I suggest a simple urine test could remove all suspicion or confirm my fears?
At this point, well, the kid's an adult. The kid could probably just do it.
I was about to say the kid could just go. What you do is you go to the son, because you've
You
tried
say,
going to
hey,
the sister.
kid, I think your papa has poisoned you.
Yeah,
Papa, you say, hey, kid,
Papa
Papa lied.
lies.
He poisoned you.
You are like Papa.
And the kid's like, wait, what? There's an alternate universe where Stranger Things doesn't exist. And your dad's 11.
Whoa.
Bwom.
There was a girl I was in theater with who would scream that a lot, and it was
Papa lies.
always Or
Does he,
she
though?
would say like you lie, because the director would be like, all right, we're gonna get out of here at 9, and then at like 9:45 we'd
You
start
sounded
leaving.
like Mr. Mackey.
Okay. Okay. But so then, like, we'd get out of there at like 9:45, and she would just like look at us and be like, "The director lies.
Let's fight her.
She is like Papa."
Let's fight her with our hands.
Let's just go. I'm sure that was wonderful for audio people.
It wasn't.
I'm
for
so
me.
sorry.
I didn't like that.
Poisoning your son just because he frustrates
The
you a
fact
little
that
bit?
there are people out there that I would like joke about. If okay, James, if I was in a scenario where my son had health problems,
Mm.
I wouldn't joke that I caused the health problems
Yeah,
because I didn't.
especially if you're known for not being like the coolest dude.
Yeah, don't be like, huh, poison's really cool.
Yeah,
And then
like
slide me some under the table and then go, but I don't use it.
Yeah, like this. It says in the question that this guy has already sort of a rocky relationship with kids, plural. First of all, it says with her or the kids, which means they've had others. Do he poison them too?
Well, they're gone now.
Oh dang.
They're in the ground.
Oh, that's awkward.
It's very
But like, there's
You know?
it's my brain is just stuttering right now because I cannot fathom why anyone would ever do this.
It's without
It's without fathom.
fathom.
It's just like I so desperately want to be a father, and like I
I so
really.
desperately want to poison my children.
I just like I want to be a dad, and
But
I
only
want
if
to
they're
like
being bad.
I can't imagine ever doing something and being like this will hurt my kid because he pissed me off. Like that's so uncool,
It's very. I call it UC.
huh?
Uncool.
Ah,
It's very use. It's very hook of you.
I want you to try and say that to the next person that's being uncool
That's
towards
so
you.
UC, dude.
Like somebody who's like poisoning their kids. Like,
Wait, why are you talking about Cincinnati? And it's like, no, I just think that it's not chill. It also works for unchill.
Unchill.
Not chill. Well, UC also stands for not chill.
Wait, I said that's not cool or uncool. Oh, I said uncool.
You said uncool.
I said uncool.
UC stands for uncool and also not chill.
Oh, because
It
those are
depends on what
synonymous.
province you're from.
Synonymous is the right word for that, right?
No.
When two words mean the same thing, is it a homonym? Homophone?
No. You're getting farther. It's a synonym. Oh, I guess you're right.
Synonym.
In
Yeah.
my brain, when I hear
Yeah.
synonymous, though, it just means that they're related.
I was right.
I'm gonna tell you my story.
Oh, we got another story. Are we? So are we done talking about the dad?
Yeah, Dad's bad guy. Dad's bad dude.
He is.
poisoned
He is.
his child.
He is.
deliberately.
What's the
He's deliberately
he's
bonkers.
Goofy boofy.
Not deliberately bonkers.
He-
Delightfully bonkers.
He is totally bonkers.
He's so.
That is
bonkers.
so
He's so
uncool.
quirky and different. He's not like other dads. He poisons his kids.
I'm not like other dads.
I have
My kids are
rat
poisoned.
poison. Okay. Am I delightfully bonkers for asking my girlfriend to dress better on a date night?
I gotta hear more of this, but boy howdy does it sound like this is gonna be rough.
So, we had decided to go out on the weekend, and I suggest going somewhere fancy. She says okay, and I find an upscale Chinese restaurant and show it to her. She says cool, and we agree to spend the evening there. Fast forward to the evening. I see her dressed in a t-shirt and worn down jeans. I ask her why she's not wearing a dress, and she just replies she doesn't feel like it. I'm like, okay, but I told you it's a fancy place. And she's like, it's just a Chinese restaurant. I pull up their Instagram and try to show her the feed to convince her that it's upscale, but she doesn't even want to look at it. I ask her again to dress appropriately, and this time she's pissed and she says we're not going anywhere tonight. We haven't talked since then. It's been a day now. She usually likes to dress up even when we go to a normal bar. This is leaving me confused. Am I delightfully bonkers here?
First of all, shoot, I forgot what I was going to say.
Good
First of
start.
all, oh, I remember
Second
now.
of all.
I remember now. This is not a new idea, but I agree with the idea that I think it's hilarious that this person was like, I'm having couples issues. Let me ask Reddit real quick. Like, that's not super cool. Like, maybe go to the girlfriend and be like, hey, I didn't mean to frustrate you. It just I know that you like to dress up. Why are you getting so mad about? Like, why are you not? Because it seems like a fancy place. I know you like to dress up, so I picked a fancy place. If you don't want to go to a fancy place, we don't have to, but we made plans to go to this fancy place. And say fancy place as many times as possible.
Yeah, if she chose a fancy restaurant.
I'm going.
And
I'm
yeah, it's just the Chinese restaurant, but you gotta say like it's just Italian.
I'm
It's
gonna.
just American.
I'm starting. I don't think that this guy's bonkers.
I don't think he's bonkers.
Especially if she likes to
but
dress
that's also
up.
because I hate women.
Maybe don't say that when we're gonna post it on the
I
internet.
just think that they're inferior mostly.
Ooh,
to men
don't this.
in
He's a comedian.
in all ways.
He's a comedian.
Like men are so cool and strong, and women are so really
You're gonna make everybody hate us.
weak.
I mean,
Men
here's the
hate
thing.
me.
My girlfriend really likes getting dressed up. She thinks it's fun to wear dresses. She thinks it's fun to fancy up her
I
hair.
also think it's fun to wear dresses.
I thought you were gonna say I thought it was fun to dress up, like get fancy up, wear a suit, that sort of thing. I
don't
think that
like
it's
getting
fun
dressed up.
sometimes. So like it is hard because like I would much rather on a date like just go to one of our houses and play like Zelda and then like watch a movie. But she's like, let's go out, and I want to start doing it more. But like she likes getting fancied up, and so sometimes we pick places to go so that she can get fancied up. So I can totally see that this guy was like, we both like Chinese. I'll pick a fancy Chinese place so then she can dress up. And then she was like, I'm wearing jeans and my favorite t-shirt. And you're just like, that's not what this is for. But,
Yeah, like it's a nice place.
yeah.
If you're especially like restaurants, for some reason there's some weird dress code in the world. But if you go to a nice like a restaurant that is well to do, you have to wear nice clothes, or else you'd be shunned.
And I would
'Cause
contest.
I would wear jeans to a t-shirt anywhere.
I would contest it's also the opposite, where if you go to like a McDonald's in like a suit, you feel just as weird, if
No,
not
I
worse.
did that the other day. I was pretty chill about it, but also my shirt was untucked and my shoes were untied. So
When were you in a suit and going to McDonald's?
I went after Kappa the other night. We went to Kappa, and
Ah.
the friends I was with changed, And I couldn't be bothered. I
Mhm.
was just lazy. I brought clothes to change into. I just didn't want to. So I
Mm.
just left my shoes untied. I was wearing my nice shoes, and I untucked my shirt.
Okay.
So I looked very cool.
Oh yeah.
It was a fashion
I mean, like I went to an arcade the other day, but like it was mine and my girlfriend's anniversary the other day, so we were gonna go to a niceish Chinese restaurant afterwards.
For
Actually,
realsies?
yeah, we went to Molly Woo's.
Is this you?
No, because she didn't wear jeans and a t-shirt, she wore a dress. So we both wore like
Like a woman should.
we
Keep going.
don't say that. We wore these like nice outfits. It was really fun. We looked coordinated and wonderful, and it was great. But we went to an arcade before, and then we're gonna head straight over to
You're a
dinner.
nerd.
Thank
Keep
you.
going.
So I was at an arcade in like a white button-up shirt and like nice shorts, and it just felt weird because like all these like kids and like dads were walking in like video game T-shirts and like sweatpants. So I was like, I feel like I'm too fancy to be standing in this arcade.
And you were like, I so wish I was wearing sweatpants and a video game T-shirt.
I did a little bit, yeah. But then we went out to dinner, and then I felt fine.
So you're wearing your N64 shirt today at a
Uh,
protest.
What did I? Oh, we were doing work yesterday, so I didn't wear anything I liked yesterday.
No. I think he's pretty. I think he's a good guy.
I mean, especially assuming that he was trying to pick a place for her to get dressed up as, but also
That's a
like
big assumption.
but okay, with the information we have, they both decided, let's go to this nice restaurant. Look at these
Yeah.
pictures. Let's go to a nice
But I
restaurant.
think he maybe thought that it was nicer than she did.
Uh-huh.
I think he
But
just
even
gotta
if she
talk
doesn't
about
feel
it.
like getting dressed up, then pick a different place, go to the nice restaurant another time.
But unless they had to make a reservage
Mm.
as the cool
As okay.
I know you don't
As
understand
Seinfeld talks about reservation.
reservation.
You gotta keep the
You
reservation.
gotta keep it, and she has decided not to.
Hmm.
I still think that he's not in the bad.
I
don't think
don't
he's in
think
the wrong, but I think that he's needs to just talk about it.
I don't think either of
this
them are in
point.
the wrong. I think they both just had they have a
Yeah,
misunderstanding.
it's a miscommunicado.
And so maybe don't sit on it for a day and then go to Reddit. Maybe go to her and say like, "Hey, I didn't mean to upset you the other day. I just thought," and like, talk about it.
I have two more things here.
Okay.
Do we want to do a bonkers or a confession thing?
Let's hit we got time for like one more. Let's hit the confession and then maybe if we have time we can move it back to another bonkers. And if not, save it for another day.
Yeah. Okay. I take the train to work each morning, and then again to get home. I like to sit in the quiet car because it allows me to think and do a little extra work each day. Just imagine. On the train ride home today, a woman in front of me kept talking on the phone, even after people nicely asked her to be quiet. The conductor, oh, there's no letter on this. The conductor also came through and informed her she was on a quiet car. The seats we are in have very little support, so someone behind you could push your seat and you'd feel it. Several riders decided it wasn't worth it and switched cars. I decided I had enough and slouched far enough so both my knees were firmly in the back of her seat, pushing fairly hard. She cocked her head around and told me to put my knees down. I closed my eyes and fake slept. She got up and moved to a different seat. There was a person behind her, and guess what he did? Knees to the back of the chair. People started catching on, and she chose a seat with no one behind her. Another rider changed seats behind her, and she got some more knees. The conductor came through again and was unaware of our little revenge. She got up and told him that people were putting knees into her back and stalking her to each spot. The conductor put his index finger to his lips and said, "Shh, this is a quiet car." She moved to a new train car.
This definitely feels like a me and the boys moment where like all of these riders just like looked at each other and were like, let's do
Guys,
this.
we know what must be done.
Like let's do this.
I love my favorite part of this is the conductor.
Like I bet like I don't know. I haven't been on very many like fancy trains. I bet that there was
You
like
haven't been on any fancy trains.
well we've been on like that one like we've been to the subway and we've been on like
A
that
train.
one to Chicago.
We're not been on a bullet train. We're not Brad Pitt.
That movie's phenomenal. But I'd like to one day like go on a nice train ride. I think it'd be epic.
I don't.
You don't like trains?
No.
What?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I don't want to be stuck in a vehicle with a lot of other people for an extended amount of time that I don't know.
Okay.
Like a plane is fine. I mean,
How?
I also hate flying.
There's so much
But-
less room in a plane.
I understand this, and I hear what you're saying, and I'm going to receive it and put it in my heart.
Okay.
But also, the places I'm flying to, it's like just like a couple hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I get off at another airport, and I go, and then I fly again. and it's another couple hours.
You say this like it wasn't the last time we did it. It was when we were like 9.
Yeah, I know, but still, I'm just thinking through logistically. But a train is just like a slow car.
It's not. It's way faster than a car.
But it has. It does. It is not. It is. It is bound by its tracks. Trains are like us in life,
But
in which we
okay,
are bound by our tracks.
but I still want
But
you
if you try hard enough, you can be free moving and be off
just
the
for
tracks and
context,
be
when
your
we
own
had to
self.
drive from our family's Michigan hangout to Chicago, it was like a 2-hour drive. When we rode the train, it took an hour.
I don't think it took us 2 hours to get to Chicago.
I think it did because I remember it was like from there to 2 hours, then 2 hours back so that we could leave, and then it was like a 6-hour drive. We were in the car for like 9 hours that day because of it.
No, we were in the car for 9 hours that day because of your girlfriend.
It was actually us. We
I don't
gave
think
it
it
to
was.
her.
I know you can say that, and she can say that, but
But
I will
Elsie
always
was
blame
feeling
her.
bad before Sophie came over.
Sophie was also feeling bad that night.
No, she wasn't.
I remember her feeling bad that night.
I promise you
She
she
has gotten
wasn't.
in your head. She has gotten in your head, and she has twisted our stories.
I promise you she was not feeling bad because I was feeling a little on the rocks. And so she was like, "Are you okay? Do you have COVID?" And I was like, "No, it's just a cold. Our family always gets colds this time of year because like 4 of us were feeling bad. Because it was like you, me, and Elsie were all like, ugh. And Sophie was like, "Are you guys okay?" Because also the Denorms got it. Sophie was not hanging out with the Denorms that night.
Yes, she was. We were all there.
We were all there, but Sophie was not like with them for very long.
COVID is a silent killer. It gets you when you're not looking.
The 15-minute rule that used to be in effect. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm just
Okay.
upset.
But I mean, like, okay.
I just don't.
That woman was breaking the rules, and these guys took matters
If you're
into
gonna
their own
talk on the
hands.
phone, just go to another train car.
Exactly.
Like, I get that maybe she's like, oh, but it'll be quiet and I can hear my conversation. It's like, yes, but then you're breaking your. I would
Uh-huh.
like. This is what I think. This is what I think you should do. This is my advice.
What?
Stand in between the cars. When you need to listen, step into the quiet car. When you need to talk, step into the other cars.
Oh. So you expect, like, side hopping
Side hop.
basketball
Like,
drills.
one second. Okay, one second. Okay, one second. And then, like, that.
Okay.
Because you get the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
The quiet so you can hear, and then you can talk, and no one will put their knees in the back of your chair.
And you get a little exercise.
Also,
jumping
the
back and
header
forth
on this
between clubs.
was very funny to me because it said, "If you can't keep quiet, you get knees." And then at the very end, it said there was an edit where it fixed spelling mistakes,
Oh.
but it didn't fix that one, and that makes me very happy.
Is that the name of this podcast? This episode is "If you can't keep quiet,
quiet.
you get knees."
Yeah, we're saying quite.
Can't keep quiet.
You get
Knees. I don't think these guys were jerks. I mean, they especially because they tried.
I think that they somewhat blew it out of proportion. Like at some point, you just gotta go old people, and then just kind of let it happen. I think.
But they did try, but a bunch of them were like really trying to. Because I get like I have a really hard time
Also,
focusing.
100%. This is a recent thing.
Yeah.
If I'm in a quiet car, I also have like headphones and stuff on or whatever. Like I'm not. I don't.
You're saying theoretically, you don't often go in quiet cars. Theoretically,
yeah,
if you're in a
but
quiet
if I'm
car.
in a, like even if I'm but if I'm in like the library,
Yeah.
I'm wearing headphones that I'm listening to something else anyway, and I'm just not talking. If someone else is talking in the quiet car, just deal with like.
But I'll say at least for me personally, I have a really hard time focusing on words and hearing other words around me.
That's because you're dumb.
Well, it's because I have a reading disorder. I'm pretty cool about it. Not many people know, but I did decide the best thing for us to do on a podcast is try and read stories. Which the moment I said it, I realized I'm gonna stutter a lot and it's gonna be confusing, but it's good practice.
I told you I could be in charge of this.
No, I like it. It's good practice for me.
Okay.
I need to practice reading.
I'm 5 years old. I got practice reading.
Sure, but so it gets tricky. Like whenever I was in a study hall at school, if I wanted to do like actual work, I had to go to a different room where nobody was, or because people talk during a study hall, which is
Yeah.
fine. Like whenever I didn't have work to do, I loved talking during study hall, but I needed to like go to a room where no one else was, or where like another room where everybody else had to be quiet, or you'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I needed to focus. So these guys were like, I'll go to the quiet car where no one's supposed to make a lot of noise so I can focus on my work. And then this woman walks in and is like, Deborah! Oh, And then just, am I allowed to say that?
No.
Shoot! Is that bad?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was like wench.
Wench also isn't great.
But they said it in League of Super Pets, and it didn't get bleeped out like half the turtles' lines. So that's how I figured out. Because I thought for a long time, like I asked Isaac
We're
about
gonna
it.
cut this out.
We could cut out. We could just. I'll just cut the audio when I said the word, and then we can just work around it. I feel like I should say it wasn't the C word for women. I'm not that idiotic.
Yeah, this is bad conversation to have on our podcast.
Listen, I asked our friend Isaac. I was like, "Is wench like a really bad word?" And he was like, "It's not a nice word." And I was like, "But like, you could say it on TV. Like that's the way I view
Yeah, they
like
say it on Community.
yeah, the way I view severity of words is if it can be said on TV or if it can't." And he was like, "I mean, yeah." And then I was like, "I don't know if I should say it because I just think that that's funnier to say than like other
You
things."
jerk.
I think calling somebody a wench is really funny. I call Sophie a wench all the time.
I'm sure she loves that.
She does. Well, she's mad because I don't call her a different word for a woman.
Your girlfriend's a bad person.
My girlfriend really likes cursing for some reason. I can't figure out
We're
why.
cutting this out of the podcast. Too.
No,
Yes,
it's
we are.
fine. Um, but yeah, and then I saw it in League of Super Pets, and I was like, okay, so they said it in a kids movie, which means it's probably all right. But yeah, if like some bombastic old woman, like I'm imagining a Marianne of a woman. Marianne was our wonderful, wonderful aunt who was super nice, but she was very loud and very bombastic in the most lovely ways. So I'm
Is
imagining like
bombastic your word of the day?
bombastic. How many times have I said it? Twice?
In the span of like 2 seconds.
Well, yeah, because I was using it to describe a bombastic woman.
And then you used it again. Same word.
Because
reason.
that's okay.
Keep going.
So I'm imagining like you're sitting in the quiet car, and then like Marianne walks in and is like talking to her friend excitedly about like their riding club or something. So it's not like she's doing something wrong. She's just
Yeah.
not in the right place. It's a bad place, bad time.
Yeah.
You know?
I are yawning. I think that she shouldn't have done what she did.
Mhm.
And here's the thing. I also don't really care if people's knees are in the back of my chair.
Yeah.
I've just come to accept it. But also, they probably could have been chill about it. I love the fact that they all banded together, though.
I think it's fun that they
That
banded
gives me
together,
hope for the
and then
future.
I like to imagine that the conductor was like watching through cameras, and he was like, "I bide my time," and then waited, and then walked in, and then walked in just in time to hit him with that. I think that's so
I like to-
funny. Don't.
I like to think that he didn't put his index finger on his lips, but he went shh,
on her, like, oh, Erica.
shh,
This is a quiet car.
shh, no more talking.
No more. This is a quiet car.
Like one of those.
Of course. You know, one of those classics.
Yeah.
Those
I want to
classic
do
ones.
my last bonkers.
I would love to hear the last bonkers. Sorry
would
that I
love-
said a bad word. I didn't realize it was as bad as I thought
That's
it was.
fine. People at church are gonna be upset with us. They're gonna be upset with you.
Nobody at church listens to this.
But they might.
But they might, but nobody at church listens to this yet.
Am I delightfully bonkers for being upset over a friend pouring a full can of water into my bolognese and then complaining about it not having enough taste?
Now, can of water?
Yeah, it's explained in the story.
Okay.
But water doesn't belong in a can. Water belongs. What Verizon messaging?
A bottle or a cup. That's what water belongs in. I've never even seen cans of water, other than like sparkling water. I've seen sparkling water.
Sparkling water's bad. I was over at
I
a
hate
friend's
it.
house to prove that you can make a good vegetarian bolognese where her roommate was also invited. I went all out on the ingredients and even made a practice one at home just to be sure. I thought it tasted fantastic, so was ready to go at it. We must have spent an hour simmering it, adding spices, cutting garlic into the thinnest slices ever, etc. My friend then fills the used tomato can with water and just pours it in to get the last of it out.
Mhm.
In my opinion, it was ruined. They agreed and said it was tasteless, except that it wasn't because of the water. It must have always been tasteless. Friend and roommate then start making a new bolognese because obviously I was wrong. They used the ingredients I bought. The roommate laughs a little while saying, "Sorry for just taking over." And then it's like a colon with a D. The
Uh-huh.
D. I'm not super talkative and leave after dinner saying that I'm tired and have work the next day anyway. Didn't help that they kept saying it was good they made a new one and how impressed they were over they made such a good sauce in only 20 minutes. Friend texts me a couple days later and says I owe them an apology for making dinner awkward. Yeah, this is of course just my side of the story, and even though I feel that I wasn't talkative, I don't doubt that my aura must have given off an awkward vibe. I'm not looking for an apology from them, just some acknowledgement that of course you're going to lose a lot of flavor if you dilute it with water. That was in all caps.
So the can of water was a can of like tomato sauce
Yeah.
that they dumped out,
Yeah.
and then one of the roommates who wasn't making the vegetarian sauce decided, I'm going to fill this up with water and then dump it in to get out that little tiny bit of tomato sauce.
Here's where I think the first mistake was. Being a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Because have you tried bacon?
True.
Have you tried chicken?
More so, I would say.
Have you tried chicken again? Because sometimes it takes two.
Because there's also a lot of ways you can make the chicken.
Have you tried nugs?
Have you tried wings? I'm too hungry for this. We're gonna start rolling, and I'm gonna keep talking.
I've eaten anything today. It's also
11:30 in the afternoon.
It's only 11:30. I feel like I've been awake for so long.
That's because this is welcome to my life, dude.
I
don't think that this person is delightfully bonkers. I would say. I think that this person is like.
No, they're not. But also,
well, I can understand it, especially if you like if the friends the whole time were like eating their tomato like sauce and they're like, we're so happy we made this.
I don't know what bolognese is.
I think it's like. I'm gonna sound like an idiot. I think it's like spaghetti sauce. I think it's
Oh,
one of
I
those
think
sorts
that's
of.
wrong.
But I mean, it's like a tomato-based sauce that you put on something else. I don't think it's soup.
But then why would they need to make a vegetarian bolognese? Holy crap, this looks good.
I'm so hungry. Gosh, I'm hungry, dude. But yeah, see, it's like spaghetti with meat in it.
Spaghetti also has meat in it, you dumb boy.
Well, then why do you have to? No, because spaghetti is a noodle.
Spaghetti is a sauce. Angel
no, there are spaghetti noodles. The sauce you're thinking of is marinara sauce.
What? I want to get what, marinara.
Marinara. Either of those work.
I want to eat this more than anything in the world right now.
I'm so hungry. Please get that off your screen. I'm going to start like drooling. It's gonna be bad.
I thought it was like a soup.
No.
Or a stew.
Yeah, it's a pasta sauce.
Cool. I think it's a pasta meal.
I feel like this is a thing I have with a lot of friends where I'll say things like related to pasta. It's always pasta too, and they always feel the need to like correct some part of it. Where I'll be like, I made like spaghetti with cheese on it.
Look how long these earbud strings are.
This is a wonderful content for the people listening on Spotify, which I believe so far is our bigger following.
They're exactly the same.
Are they exactly the same?
Yeah, somehow they're exactly the same.
Oh, good for us.
Yeah,
but so like, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but it'll be things where it's like I'll say like, this is like a different thing because it's not like spaghetti is a type of noodle, and so yes, you like made spaghetti, but like if we want to be specific, you made bow tie noodles with marinara sauce and meatballs, and they're like, it's the same thing. I'm like, it's not. Spaghetti is the name of a noodle. Angel hair is thin spaghetti. Listen, I said, this is a thing. And I'm just gonna keep talking about spaghetti because I'm so hungry.
Okay, well then let's finish this question up and then we can be done.
I don't think this person's being an idiot.
I don't think
it always
idiot. They're being bonkers.
Bonkers. Everybody in these delightfully bonkers stories, I feel like they always blow it out of proportion. Like no matter what, I think every one of these stories gets blown out of proportion somewhere along the line.
I don't know how to work docs.
So like, I don't think you should have like stormed out and like not talked to them for a few days because they didn't like your bolognese sauce.
I would rather not say anything and say something mean.
That's true, but like, I'd much rather like when they were like came back the next day and they were like, you owe us an apology. I feel like you should be like instead of just being like, and then like ignoring them. Just be like, I don't think I do because you really hurt my feelings last night about that sauce. You dumped a bunch of water in it
Here's
and
the
then got
difference,
mad at me
Sam.
about it.
You're a very blunt person, and not everyone in the world is a very blunt person.
The thing is, I say a lot of these things, but then I don't always do them. Like I always do eventually. But yeah, I learned a lot more bluntness from my college roommate Chad because there'll be times where I'm like, "Hey Chad, when we get back to our room, do you want to watch a show?" And he was like, "That sounds like the worst thing to me. I don't want to do that." He's so blunt, and it's like very nice sometimes because sometimes there's those people who are so like, "Oh, we can if you want to," and then you're like, "Just once, I want you to just be like, yes, I would like," or like, "No, I don't want to do that." Like, just be honest with me. But yeah, I mean, just be honest with them and say like, "You pissed me off by dumping a bunch of water in my sauce and then calling it bad." I feel like that's the equivalent if somebody was like, "Here's a pie," and then you like sat on it and then turned around and like ate it,
Especially
and you're like,
because
"This
she
doesn't taste
said
good."
she made one at home and said that it did taste good, and
Yeah.
then was able to say that this one tasted bad. It wasn't like she was like,
Uh huh.
"Wow, the last one didn't go great, but I really think I nailed it this time."
And I'm sure she also has a lot of, cause like we like making jokes with her. Like, I like making jokes in the expense of my gluten-free friends. Like, I make a lot of jokes like
Yes.
that, and so I'm sure like vegetarians have like similar moments where it's like people like just joke where it's like, if we had real food, like that sort of a thing. So I'm sure she
I would
like
do that.
has had pent up like aggression, and then finally her friends like dumped water in her sauce, called it bad, then made their own, and were like, "We're so happy we made our own." Like, I'm sure it's just a lot of like pent up stuff, and she's like, "Gosh, these guys are the
Yeah.
worst," sort of a thing. So I don't think I think their friends were not
All in
cool.
all, be nicer to your friends.
True. Be
Unless they
kind, and
unless they deserve it, and then you poke their eye out.
that's true. Then you push them in a dark room and shut the lights off, and then
And
say, "Try not to lose an eye."
fill that dark room full of wired hangers
And needles
and nails and
and
screws
broken Christmas lights because they'll
and
they'll get you.
and some mirrors that aren't broken yet, but they will because they're gonna bumble into them
And then they'll have the bad luck required to
to
poke
poke it with
their
all the
eye out.
nails and the tacks and the things. Okay, I want to be done. I want to go eat food.
This has been How the Brother Side Lives, episode 2.
Come
We're
back
going hard.
next week and find us on um, YouTube and Instagram and all the things. All the links are on the Instagram.
YouTube,
So
Spotify, Apple. We have Apple Podcasts, right?
yes.
Did we ever figure out Amazon? Or no?
No, Amazon's stupid.
Oh, well, we're not on Amazon. We're on Spotify and we're on Apple
And
and
I
YouTube.
think we're on Google now.
Whoa, that's cool. Are you checking?
Yes.
We'll check this real quick and then. So check those things out.
No, still pending.
Hey, I'll throw this out. We need a theme song. If you know how to write
Did your
music,
friend give up?
well, I just haven't heard from him in a little while.
Text him and say, hey, how's my song going?
Okay. Oh, are you texting him?
What's your phone password?
I don't want to say this on the air.
3 people just got your password.
Dang it!
What is this? Nope, that's his
Nope,
name.
his name is Inky Ink. We had a whole conversation about him last podcast that I had to cut out because he didn't. We asked him to write a song for us, and he's been busy, and so he hasn't finished it yet. But we had a whole conversation about how happy we are that he wrote us a song, and I had to cut all of it out of the last podcast. But so he is working on one right now, but we really need one because the like placeholder default Adobe stock audio I'm using doesn't sound great. So we'll figure that out. We'll get a real podcast theme song one of these days. I'll give.
Someday will be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Till next time, I'm Tucker.
And I'm Sam. Let the
Let the
battle
battle
begin.
begin.